Hey, thank you so much for checking out this episode of More with Murphy. I want to tell you what we're going to do today. We're going to do a couple of things. Number one, I just want to say thank you to you for being a part of this initiative. This episode is going to wrap up actually season 1. And as I look back over the past year, the last several months, we've had so many incredible conversations. You can see everything on the website there. We've had conversations about adolescent sexuality. How do you build great teams, great cultures? Serena and I interviewed our counselor and just different lessons in life. We've interviewed people who have been married a number of years and those who are up in years and just wisdom of life and so many others. What I'm going to share with you in just a little bit here today is I'm going to share with you 8 lessons that I've learned through observing an AAU basketball tournament just this past weekend. Now, for those of you who may never heard of AAU before, it's basically a travel basketball, but the lessons I'm going to share with you are not just for basketball. It's for business, it's for life, it's for family, any organization, anything that has to do with relationships. I think you're going to find value in this. Before I dive into those 8 lessons, let me give you one more thing here. I also want to encourage you, we're so excited for season 2. Season 2 of More with Murphy is going to be kicking off later this summer, early fall. We've already got some great topics and speakers lined up to have conversations, but we want to hear from you as well. So if you just click the link in the description of this episode, let us know what it is you would like for us to talk about. All right, let me pass on to you now 8 lessons I learned from AAU basketball this past weekend. Very briefly, number 1, great teams will always beat talented individuals every time. Again, it's true in sports, it's true in business, it's true in any organization that has to do with relationships. The collective strength of a unified body that is on task, mission, vision, values, and purpose will always be greater than individual, talented individuals who work as a silo. You just see it play over and over and over again. Number 2, great teams communicate constantly and they cover and they help for one another. In AAU, in basketball, it's communicating on defense, screen right, screen left, switch, stay with your man. It's realizing my responsibility is not just to guard the individual. My responsibility collectively as a team is to guard the basket. There's nothing more beautiful in basketball than team defense where people rotate and rotate and rotate and collectively get the job done. In business and family, communicate constantly. Great teams do that. Number 3, great teams do the little things that very few people notice. Recently, we just had the NFL draft, so that kind of time dates the era and the time that this episode is recorded. In the NFL draft, I've always said this, I love it when offensive linemen get drafted, particularly from schools that don't play on TV on Saturdays. Why? Because offensive linemen are often the most overlooked players on the team, on the field, and they're also some of the most important players on the field. It's moms, girlfriends, and wives who notice offensive linemen. But if you take away the offensive line, running backs, quarterbacks, wide receivers, they're rarely able to do what we love to see them do, which is to put the ball in the end zone. Great teams, they do the little things. They box out, they screen, they pick, they do the dirty work very few other people see. Here's a 4th thing, observation. Body language will always tell you the story. In an AAU tournament, there's hundreds of teams. You walk into the gym, it's fascinating just by looking at the body language of those who are on the court. Often, not always, but often you can tell who's winning and who's losing before you ever look at the scoreboard. Let me give you a 5th thing. It's related to that one. Number 5 is this. Apples rarely fall far from the tree. Let me give you one of the most contagious things in all the world right now. And it's not even COVID. It's attitude. Attitude is contagious. On a team, it seems like at times it just takes one person, one player to have a bad attitude, and it just brings the whole team down. Conversely, one player who's excited, who's on fire, it's funny how that one player can get everyone up and get everyone going. In business, it's managers. I've rarely seen a team leader or a team manager who had a bad attitude who led a team with an amazing attitude. Attitude often starts at the top, but it filters all the way down to the people around us. Here's the 6th thing I observed. Chemistry off the court tends to make life better on the court. Teams that truly enjoy and they love one another, they just tend to play better together when they're on the court. In AAU, there's some teams, they're literally thrown together like the day before a tournament. They don't even know who everybody is. It's hard to have team chemistry. In a lot of business environments, you might be saying, hey, we have so many people on our team. How do we even know everybody? You can't. But here's a threefold thing I learned years ago from a guy named John Maxwell when it comes to teams and relationships. He says, you're close with a few, you're friendly and you're loving towards all, and you strive to be at conflict with none. So whether you work on a company that has 50,000 employees, or you're a startup company with 5 employees, or it's just you and you think about the people you enjoy doing life with, sports, business, wherever it might be, you're close to a few, you're cordial, you're friendly, you're loving to all, and you make it your commitment to be at conflict with none as much as you're able to do that. That's the 6th thing. That's the reason why mission, vision, and values are so important, because that's what brings us together. Here's a 7th thing, just briefly, 2 more. 7th thing, great teams play the game and the scoreboard. Great teams play the game and the scoreboard. Let me give you one of the greatest lies in sports. Nobody keeps score, little kids, nobody keeps score, and everybody goes home a winner. You talk to those 4 or those 5-year-olds that are out on the soccer field, at the end of the game, they all know which team won and which team lost. And they're also very excited for snacks. That's a whole nother conversation for another time. In life, we play, and we play to win. In fact, the Apostle Paul, he even says, if you're going to run the race, don't just run the race to put your time in, run the race of life and run it in a way that you win. Why? Winning is fun. Winning is contagious, and it helps us be more even courageous for the things that matter most in life. So in family, in relationships, in business, and even in church, when we play and we live life, we do it to win. And it comes down to, how do you define your win? For us here at Cypress, the win is change lives for Jesus Christ, period. That's the win. And everything we do has to contribute to the win, because that's what helps us know we're actually winning. Here's the 8th observation from an AAU tournament this past weekend. On great teams, all the individuals will do their personal work during the week to get better, but it may not be reflected until the game happens on the weekend. And I think that's true in life. I know it's true in marriage. I think it's true in parenting. I think it's true in business. It's true in every aspect of life. A lot of times we want to see the performance occur when the lights are on and like the time has come. But great teams don't just perform when the lights are turned on or it's game time. They're doing the work in the gym. They're doing the little things to stay in shape, to develop their skills, and to constantly get better. They measure success often by improvement, not perfection, but did we do anything today? Win the day. Do we do anything to get better? And that compounds over time in all those important categories of life as well. So again, hope you enjoyed just 8 simple observations from an AAU tournament. And again, when it comes to things that truly matter in life and the things that will truly matter for all eternity, no one's going to remember the wins and the losses that you had individually or the team that you belong to. But what they will remember is the person you are, what you believed, how you loved, what you stood for, how you invested in others around you to make this world a much, much better place. Hey, so that wraps up season 1. Again, thank you so much for being a part of the journey. I hope you've enjoyed every step of it. I know that I have, and we have as well. Final reminder, season 2 is literally right around the corner. I want to hear from you. What are the important topics that you would love for us to dive a little deeper and to talk more about? You can go ahead and reach out to us. You can find us on morewithmurphy.com. That's morewithmurphy.com. There's going to be a link in the description for this episode. Just click the link, and I want to hear from you. Reach out to us. We've got a few different authors, a few different topics already that we're working on. But as we craft season 2, we really want to hear from you. Again, morewithmurphy.com. Click the link in the description of this episode, and we cannot wait to talk more, to add value to life for those of us and our friends around us. Thank you so much for this, and we will see you again soon.